Hi guys, welcome back to Sacred Shifts and how to navigate them. So what I was hearing before I started was healing the hurt, so that we can open our hearts to living life fully. So that means like feeling the hurt rather than like being closed off to all new experiences because we're avoiding being hurt, or we're like acting, pretending like we're not hurt. We're pretending that we don't need to heal or something along those lines. Right. So I think, yeah, it's like opening your heart to living differently, to having like a different experience, right? So like amongst all the pain, I think that's the challenge too. Amongst all the pain and the hurt, like we're being called to accept the hurt and still live with our hearts open to new experiences rather than thinking like the same experiences are going to keep cycling, because if you keep thinking that, guess what? You're gonna. Okay, so we've got the watchers in the watcher in the shadows, and it gives me like speaking with the crows as well. But you are being called to be the watcher in the shadows, to really watch your own shadows specifically. And if you're seeing it on somebody else, that means what? That you also have it. So if you're judging someone on their darkness, that means that you too hold that darkness that you need healing in, right? So ask yourself. You're being called to like really watch, not only other people's shadows, but mostly yours, right? And on the bottom is the eternal bloom. I think you are being called to eternally bloom through the doom and gloom. You know what I mean? Through the hard stuff, through the hurt stuff, right? And then we've got fractured bloom. So you're meant to be like gathering these fractured pieces of yourself that you've left in people, places, or situations, right? Where you have been inauthentically you in order to please someone. You're being called to like call those pieces of yourself back to you, right? And on the top of this, I can't help but notice it says Pisces. So maybe you're dealing with the Pisces, you have it in your chart, or you're just being called to the unconscious that keeps cycling through your current reality, right? So we've got the bloom of mortality. And it made me think like you're being called not to be scared of death and just like bloom. Right? Bloom through this beautiful human experience and stop like fearing death and truly live, right? And then we've got path of serenity. I do feel like you are being called to like surrender to a path of serenity. Like if you want peace in your life, you have to become the peace in your life, right? And then we've got the eternal serpent, which gives me like taming your own fire, taming the beast within, right? You may be called to Kundalini yoga, or just like the serpent, right? That's the snake that goes up the spine. So yeah, you may be called to that. I just noticed I'm still wearing this bracelet my son put on me, which gave me like throat chakra. Really asking for what you need, speaking your truth when you're upset, because you can't just like hold it all in. For some reason that wanted to come through. Then we've got the infernal warden. I do feel like you are being called to be the warden of your internal, right? Really recognize the thoughts you're having, how they affect your day. 3:33 on the timer. Who you are being, right? Because the life that you're living is a reflection of who you are being, right? And then we've got Requiem of Roses, which gives me security, stability, structure. It's becoming that for yourself, really like going inward is what I heard. So yeah. We've got the Crimson Centennial, which gave me like on guard. So you may be like on guard for like the next war or the next fight, right? But you're being called to resolve the fight within yourself in order to resolve the fight without. You know what I mean? And then we've got Thorned Redemption. I do think Spirit is bringing in redemption for you, but that doesn't mean it's not going to hurt. That's what I got from that. Yeah. So you're really being called to heal this hurt, right? What it does bring up for you, it's going to trigger you on purpose, for a purpose is what I heard. And then we've got the Centennial, and I heard soften, like you're being called to soften your armor to life, and really like allow yourself to live in this beautiful human experience. And I just recognized that this card right here says 44 on it, and 44 is my life not my life path number. Whoop, maybe you need to find out your life path number. But 44 is on the card, it says right path. It's my right path number. It means you're on the right path. So like this path of, I heard self-destruction, which you may. You're only breaking down what isn't you, so that you can build yourself anew. You can become like the you you've always wanted to be, the you placed in your heart to be, right? Yeah, let's get a couple of these. Cleo. Yeah, I do feel like you're being called to cultivate a connection to spirit, to yourself. Really recognize like there is no separation between you, your God. That's weird. I meant to say your guides, but it came out your God. So also, there's no separation between you, God, source, universe. It's all a part of you. We're all divine sparks of God. How else would God experience life? Right? We've got renewal. You do have a renewal coming in because you have been on this quest of self-mastery, of healing yourself, of learning to open your heart to life, although you've been through a lot of hurt, right? Yeah, you are letting go of this restriction. This reminds me of the 8 of, I almost said cups. So this emotional restriction, right? You're being called to like stop holding yourself back. Stop holding yourself hostage, right? And allow yourself to live. Yeah, and that means letting go of things, departing from things that aren't serving you. They're not helping you to heal, is what I heard. They're actually suppressing your healing and your emotions, and you know what they be. But you know. You having a good time there, Cleo? Yeah, because you do have a lot of big things coming in. Inspiration, but you got to review the things. Review the things that aren't working. And let go of the things that aren't working. They're not serving you. You know what they be. 654 on the timer. Okay, that's not good. It's just not going to work like it was. My cat's attacking me. Okay, that'll work. So you are being called to review the things that aren't serving you. They're holding you back. They're stopping these inspirations from coming in, from this passionate spark, from igniting, right? Because they're keeping you comfortable, right? They're keeping you stuck. So yeah, we'll see if any more wants to come out. Oh Lord, Cleo, you're making a mess. Yeah, you are being called to like open your heart to the dreams that were placed in there for a reason, right? Explore who you truly want to be, and yeah, heal and feel this heartbreak, right? Instead of suppressing it, because it's going to bring you to this newfound confidence that you didn't even know you had. And this gives me Queen of Wands energy. That's not only lighting yourself up, but writing, so you may be called to writing, but lighting up everyone else who watches you. And you inspire more than you know by healing this heartbreak, right? So, yeah, and confidence want to like pop off there. So we'll get some of mine. That's where we're going to leave it. Even though Cleo just knocked them all over. Ah! You've got someone's power hungry in your energy. This may be someone you're being called to cut off, right? Greedy mofo. We've got haunted by your love. No one compares to you. That may be this power hungry person. Sit with it. Feeling is the healing. I knew that was in there. In what ways are you self-sabotaging? Hashtag self-hate. When you choose things that you know are harming you. They're not healing you, right? What are your dreams? Do you even dare to dream? Or do you keep putting yourself and your dreams on the back burner thinking, oh, I'll get to it, you know? If they hate on your dreams, they ain't the one. They got to go, bro. There is beauty in your chaos. Embrace it. Give yourself a big, huge hug. And just ask yourself, like, what do you need today? Right? I ask my inner child each and every single day. But even if it's just like who you are today, ask what you need. All right, guys, I hope this helps.